So these are the methods. I'm going to be deploying the applications, these two methods actually yesterday. So today what we'll able to see, we'll see the remaining methods actually, using the Weblogic.deployer and using the AND tool and using the Maven tool. So and as well as using the WLST. So all these methods we'll able to see. See these methods, by using these methods, you can able to automate the deployment tasks. Either it may be a deployment, undeployment, or stop the applications, whatever it may be, all the deployment tasks you can able to automate. By using these two methods, you cannot automate actually. One application after other application, you can deploy. When you will go that admin console, generally, whenever we may have the application updation or something like that, so mid-rate sized applications, whenever you want to deploy, that time we will move into this admin console. So let's we see here. So remaining these three methods, whenever we have the requirement to deploy the WebLogic server deployment using the command line administration. In the sense, essentially you can able to do the deployment part using the commands. In the sense, how many applications you have in your environment doesn't matter. You have to be prepare the scripts and you can deploy all the applications at the same time. You can prepare the one time all the deployment scripts and undeployment scripts, and you can reuse a number of times. So in that first we'll able to see using the WebLogic.deployer. Let's we go. What is the WebLogic.deployer generally? See, WebLogic.deployer, it is a command line tool. It is a Java utility. It is a Java utility and command line tool or utility which is enables to perform the deployment operations similar to that administration console. So it will do basic and as well as administration deployment part. All advanced administration deployment part it will be able to do. So generally, what is that? What is that? WebLogic.deployer. Whenever you want to deploy the applications using the command line, or whenever you have the requirement to deploy more than one application at the same time, at the time we will go with the WebLogic.deployer. So method. So what is the syntax actually? This is the syntax actually. Java space WebLogic.deployer options. So either it may be a deploy, undeploy, redeploy, start, stop, and list apps. All these are the operations. Let's we see that example. So see, this is what for deploying the one application. You just go to over there. What is the syntax and what is the example about for deploying the application? Java space WebLogic.deployer utility and admin URL, and then after that you have to be enter the admin URL, username, and as well as the password. So all these are called the this is the syntax actually. These are all the syntaxes. Same, this is for deploying the one application actually. Similarly, like that you can deploy one or more other application. In the sense, you can copy and paste and you can deploy like that. I am copying all applications in the same script and I am going to be preparing the deployment script, and we are going to be deploying the applications into the WebLogic server. So let's we see how you can able to prepare the deployment scripts by using the WebLogic.deployer utility. Just go to over here. That all right. See what I need to do. I want to set the class path actually because I'm executing the Java command here. So once you set the class path, this also we need to be do that automation automatically. Whenever you specify in the scripts, automatically to specify or set the class path and executing this one. Java space WebLogic.deployer admin URL. See, whenever you are deploying the applications using the admin console, you are logging into the admin console, right, by entering the username and password. So this is that URL and username and password. And targets, you have to be specify the targets, and either it may be a cluster or part of the cluster, and stage or no stage or external stage. You have to be specify the mode here, name actually, application name, and action, deploy, redeploy, or undeploy, source where you are getting that application, and as well as application name. And this is about the verbose is a protocol. It is going to be displaying the additional information. See, copy and paste, you can deploy only one application at the same time. copy and paste, and I'm changing the application name, copy and paste and change the application name. Like that, how many applications you have, that many times you can copy and paste, and at the end what you have to do, you can able to list the applications, how many applications you deploy. So I'm just copying the script. So like that you can able to prepare in your environment, it is not a matter. So I just go to over there under this path, pa space deploy all dot sh. See cd space home linux oracle, what is my middleware home, hcl home, and user projects domains, what is my domain name, hcl domain, and bin set domain inv.sh, it is going to be set the class path. Then after that java space weblogic deployer, and what is my url name 801, and username weblogic, password welcome on only, targets so hmng1, and the second target hmng2, and stage name benefits, and deploy, and source which is coming from the home linux desktop b files, and name is deployments or benefits.web. Similarly like that second application also you can change the targets. Similarly second application, third application also, how many applications you have in your environment, that many times you have to be prepare the script like this. And similarly like that, how many applications you deployed into the WebLogic console, you want to list it. 801 username WebLogic and as well as password welcome one, and list apps. Press escape, save and exit. Then after that ch mode, see I prepared for deploying. Similarly like that I want to prepare for undeploy also. So what I need to do? So for undeploying there is no source, no source required, right? Just application name and as well as admin URL, and as well as so the targets which is required, that's it only. Go to here, go to here, you have to change again, set the class path, and in which path you want to set HCL home. If it does not have like this, you have to be prepared from the scratch. A01. See Java space weblogic.deployer, admin URL and username weblogic, password weblogic, welcome one, and name this application I'm going to be undeploying. Similarly like that, second application and the third application, fourth application. So finally you can list the application. So in this way you can able to prepare that script for undeploying actually. Chmod 777 undeploy all dot sh, which is I prepared. For deploying undeploying I prepared the script. Dot slash, just give the one single command, deploy all dot sh. It will set the class path and deploying the all applications into the WebLogic server. See, Deployer completed one application, second application, third, fourth, just wait. See, you have to be prepare it, that's it. No need to be remembered. You have to be prepare the script, that's it. Only one time. It is not like that, no need of remembering. Whatever according to your environment, so where do you have that path, and as well as in which home you want to be you kept the applications that path, and we need to be changing. See, you have to be do for one application, copy and paste how many applications do you have, and change the application name, that's it. See, I deployed all applications. So finally it is going to be displaying here total 6 applications which was deployed, right? I will send these scripts to you people, okay? Don't worry. Whatever I am doing or whatever I am preparing these scripts, I will send to you. This is about total 6 applications I deployed. Go to the admin console and expand the, sorry, click on the deployments. See all 6 applications which deployed. Click on any one of the application. Click on testing. See, this is about how you are going to be deploying the application and testing. And this time actually 8010. And the next 8020, 8010. See, able to access, right? In this way, you can able to test the application software you deployed. See, this is how much simple it was, and how many applications do you have in your environment doesn't matter. You just prepare the script for one time and you can reuse. And next time whenever you have the application deployments, updations, which application you are going to be updating, you just keep that application and remain applications you just make it as comment and you can deploy it. In this way, you can able to deploy. After deploying the application into the WebLogic server, what we can able to do, we can able to test, and also you can able to do the following operations: start, stop, and as well as undeploy the applications even from the WebLogic console also. And even if you do undeploy update, it is going to be redeploying the application. This is how you are going to be deploying the applications, using the weblogic.deploy utility. Similarly like that, I want to undeploy the applications. I already prepared the script, right? VS space undeploy all data sets. See, all applications how to undeploy I prepared. Right, total 6 applications was deployed. I prepared for undeploying. Generally what I need to do, /undeploy all sh. The moment I enter this script, automatically all applications which are going to be undeployed from the administration console, which is nothing but which are going to be deletes. Right, there is no applications to list. So what I need to do, click on refresh button, all applications undeployed. So this is a third method we have completed, Java space weblogic.deploy. And fourth method using the ant tool. Generally ant and maven, these two are the build tools, otherwise developers tools, to deploy the applications into the WebLogic server. And sometimes what will happen, the client is going to tell you can deploy the applications using the ant, or either it may be using the maven. So maven, which is generally which is implemented by using the after WebLogic server 11G onwards. So this is about how you are going to be do the remaining methods. Let's we see go to about the ant tool generally. What is the ant actually? Ant is nothing but another neat tool. So to automate the deployment tasks, which we can able to use the ant tool. So generally by using the ant, you can able to do basic and as well as the advanced deployment tasks. Generally, when we will go the ant tool, whenever you want to deploy an application quickly for evaluation or testing in the development environment, otherwise even production environment also, we will go with the ant tool. So what is required actually in the ant tool for whenever you want to deploying the application using the ant tool, which requires the build.xml file. So in that, what how you are prepared generally, this build.xml file generally, which we will give by the developers, and we need to be change some changes in the build.xml file according to the requirement, and we are going to be deploying the applications into the SOA environment, sorry, WebLogic environment. Let's we see how we can able to see structure of the build.xml file. The structure would be each and every action, it should be specified in the target 1, target 2, target 3. And let's we see what is the target 1: deploy, undeploy, redeploy, and list the applications. So all should be, it has going to be specified in the targets. We will give this build.xml file, this build.xml file which is prepared and will give by the developers. If he is unable to give, generally we can able to prepare by the which we can able to prepare by the WebLogic server administrator. Most of the cases which will do by the developers. So let's we see how you can able to prepare the build.xml file. You just go to over there. So what it contains inside actually, all projects it are going to be specified. Let's we see. I'm just copying the build.xml file under this location from the following location too. I already have build.xml file. Right. I just copied under this form. vi space build.xml file. It should be like this actually. Project name deployments. If you does not specify deploy, undeploy, redeploy, what is the default project name? List apps. It has going to list the applications. What is the WebLogic server username? Generally WebLogic. If it is a different, you can change it. And password welcome one. And if it is a different, you can change. And what is the WebLogic server host name? Admin server host name localhost, and admin server port number 801, and server name HCL admin, and HMNG1, HMNG2, targets I'm giving, and source which is coming from the homo desktop d files, under that file only. This is for one application. Copy and paste second, third, fourth, fifth, like that. Copy and paste, copy and paste. How many applications do you have in your machine to deploy into the WebLogic server? See, to deploy the applications into the WebLogic server, which requires the weblogic.jar file, which is available under the following path generally. Home Linux Oracle, HCL Home, WL Server 10.3 server lib, under that. Let's we see, go to that path and check it. So under this path, we can able to find about the weblogic.jar file. Go to there and check it. If it is available, then only it would be possible to deploy the applications into the WebLogic server using the ant tool. It was there. It was there, right? This path. I just want to go over there. See, home Linux Oracle HCL home WL 10.3 server lib weblogic.jar file. We have defined the task definition. See, here we already defined name 1, source 1, name 2, source 2. Here we need to be, for deploying actually first. Deploy all, deploy. So generally this file will give by the developer. Don't worry about that. And second part, if he is unable to give, we will able to prepare for deploying the one application, not these many applications. And thereafter, copy and paste. And so go to here. This is for deploying the one application. Second application, see here, process which remains the same. Third application, and fourth, and fifth. If you have the sixth application also, just copy and paste, and you can deploy the sixth application. This is for deploying. And redeploying script again. Redeploying is nothing but updating your application. So this is how you are going to be redeploying the application. Second application, third application, fourth application, and fifth. And finally, undeploying the applications. For undeploying, see here, which you have specify your source actually, which does not require the source actually for undeploying. Action, name, and as well as the file on error. See why we are going to be specifying the file on error. If you are undeploying the some applications which is unable to undeploy. See, if you does not specify that one, by default that file on error property or is enabled. If you does not make it as a false, if any one of the application doesn't undeploy, so WebLogic server stops there only and comes. And if you specify file on error property false, if any one of the deployment does not, does not deploy, does not undeploy, then it is moved to the next and it is going to start the deployment. So that is the reason of the file on error. And fourth application, third, 2, 1. And finally, list the applications. How many applications I want to list? So these are all the applications. So then after that, after you change those parameters, click on save. See what are the commands which we have here to work with the ant command. So which requires the ant tool actually to deploy the, even though after preparing the build.xml file, whenever you want to deploy the applications using the ant, which requires the ant tool. By default, whenever you install the WebLogic server, so which is going to be installing the ant, if you are unable to find that ant tool, you can install into the WebLogic server. So by default, which installs, you can set the class path and check the ant version and execute the build.xml file by using this command ant space -f and build.xml file. Make sure you will get the build successful. Then after that, and ant space deploy -all for deploying, ant space undeploy -all for undeploying, ant space redeploy -all for redeploying, ant space list apps for listing the applications. Let's we see all the commands. Go to over there. I'm just setting the class path. cd space bin pwd under this path. So ant space -f space build.xml file. Make sure which are going to be gets build successful. See, build successful. So then only your script was perfect. If it does not get build successful, there is a problem with the script. Next, what I need to do? Ant space deploy -all. Enter. It is a very quick. It is going to be deploying very quickly. Like it will take 5 or 6 seconds only. See, 7 seconds it is going to be taking and deploying all applications into the WebLogic server. Go to here. See all applications which deployed. Click on any one of the application. Click on testing and click on test that application. See, able to get. Go with the other application. Click on messaging and generally test that application automatically. You can click on test. It is going to be test those applications. And click on shopping and click on testing and see, this is how you are going to be getting the testing the applications after you deploy. So then after that, what I need to do is just go to over there. I want to list the applications and space list apps. See, total 5 applications was deployed. So then after that, what I need to do, after completing that part, I need to be redeploy, you can deploy, but you want to undeploy generally, and space undeploy. All applications which are going to be undeployed. With a span of 5 to 6 seconds only again. How many applications do you have in the script doesn't matter. Which is going to be deployed as quick as possible. Go to here, click on refresh button and click on the deployments. All applications are deployed. Understood? Once we deploy the applications, we can start and stop. Clear, right? Fourth method. Hello? Right. We just moving to the other method called Maven tool generally. So Maven is a tool generally which was introduced after Weblogic server 11G onwards. So what we can able to do, we need to be install the Maven tool and we need to be set the class path. Then after that, we need to be install the Maven plugins. Then later we can able to deploy and deploy the applications into the Weblogic server by using the Maven tool. So one by one we'll able to see, right, how you can able to install the Maven tool. Just go to over there. See, Maven is nothing but it is a build tool, right? So which is coming on Ant and as well as the Maven, both which are coming from the Apache only, Apache Corporation, those two tools. So Maven tool generally you can make deployment very quickly and it is having the more options than the Ant. So let's see how you can able to install the Maven generally. There are following features which are added. See Maven 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. We are going to be installing the 3.0 version. For this, what we require actually, which requires the prerequisite is Java, and which we already installed. How we required in the build.xml in the and tool build.xml file. Similarly, in the Maven tool also, which requires the form.xml file. So generally, project object model, it is fundamental unit of work in the Maven. All should be available in the XML file. Let's see how you can able to install. Go to over there. Here, see WebLogic 11G, the basic deployment, and the tool C, which was, you know, all these features which were added into the tool C. And let's see how we can able to install the Maven. See, copy this URL and which requires the internet actually. Go to here. See this path. Automatically which is going to be downloads from that path. Right, see, which is going to be deployed successfully saved onto the under this location. Next, what I need to do, I need to be, go to this path. I am just extracting under this path. So it is going to be extracting under that path. Next, what I need to do, I need to be set the class path under this path. Enter the root password. So which is already available under this. You can able to set like this. I already set. Next, what I need to do after setting that path, you can able to know about the Maven version. See, this is what Maven home, and this is what Maven version, Apache Maven version. Understood? So installation was successful. Next, what I need to do, I need to install the Maven plugins with the WebLogic server. So what I need to do for that, I want to go to the Java WebLogic server home and server lib slash home slash Linux Oracle WL server home. Under this path, you just go to here and issue the following command: Java space -jar. It is going to be creating this plugin. So next, under this path only, you have to be extract. Right, which completes. Next step, what I need to do: jar space -xvf space. We need to be extract that one. That's going to be extracting. Right. Next, what I need to do after completing that, go to that following path. Maven and this is you have to be move this pom.xml from this location to server lib under this directory. I just moved. After that, you have to be verify. There was no file. Next, go to the server lib directory and install that plugin. Install the plugin with Maven install home Linux Oracle. Where do you have that pom.xml file? Server lib Maven plugin and another path it is going to be available. The moment I enter, it is going to be installing into the WebLogic server. Make sure you will get the build success. In the sense, we have completed to set up the Maven with WebLogic server. Next, what I need to do, we can deploy the application by using maven.com/oracle weblogic, Maven plugin repository and admin URL, and as well as username, password, and as well as targets and source where you are getting that application. So this is about one target, and second you can undeploy, and third one redeploy, fourth one start application, stop application, and list the apps, how many applications you deployed into the WebLogic server. That many you can able to list, and WebLogic update plugin, and you can get the help. So let's we see how we can able to deploy the applications using the Maven tool. Let's say go to over there under this path only. So what I need to do, I'm just going over there. Alright. So what I need to do then after that, I need to be, prepare the Maven script and as well, just like how I prepared that deploy and deploy scripts, like that I need to be prepared, Maven deploy and deploy scripts. So what I need to do, /home/linux desktop, and just copying cp space deploy all dot maven dot sh and deploy all dot, and just copying server lib under the directory Oracle. Right. Next, what I need to do, va space deploy maven dot sh. What I need to do, see for deploying. This is what syntax actually. Up to here syntax, then admin URL localhost. I need to be change that admin port number, right? What is our admin port number? 801. And username Weblogic and password welcome one only, and targets HMNG. One if you want you can give the cluster also. Source home Linux. From that path we are going to be getting that application. Similarly for second application also, you can change the targets and go to here, you can change the admin URL also. First I will change the admin URL. So then after that I need to change the targets. This is for deploying I prepared. Press escape :W key. For undeploying, VA space undeploy all dot sh. So for undeploying does not require any source. I just required only one target and as well as admin URL. I will change admin URL first. And thereafter I can able to change the targets. Right. So this is about how to prepare the deploy and deploy script using the Maven. Then after that I need to give the permissions. Right. Then after that next / deploy all dot sh. It is telling there is no Java home which is defined. Okay, fine. /home/linux Oracle HL home domains. So this time it is going to be deploying the applications. One application which completes, and similarly for the second application and third application it is going to be starts. Build success. Fourth, it is going to be deploying all applications, and finally it is going to be listing how many applications you deploy. Total 6 applications we deployed into the WebLogic server. Go to here, click on refresh button. See all 6 applications. Click on any one of the application and you can able to test about that application. See, I'm able to get like that. I can able to see. I can able to access the application. In this way, you can able to deploy and hello, any doubt? Right, okay, fine. Right. So in this way, you can able to deploy, and after deploying applications into that Maven tool into the EM console, you can able to test, and as well as you can able to start and stop, and you can able to update, and you can able to delete also in the sense undeploying from the administration console. So I deployed successfully, and similarly like that, I can undeploy also by using the Maven tool. Undeploy. Right. It's completes successfully undeployed. So in the sense, just go to here and click on refresh button. It's undeployed successfully. So in this way, which are going to be undeployed successfully. So this is fifth method we completed. See, for deploying the applications using the sixth method, which require actually some of the WLST basics and as well as some syntax. So which we can, if I explain directly deployment here, you cannot able to understand. We have the separate concept called WLST. In the WLST, I will explain about the deployment part. Understood? These are about all the methods you can able to deploy in the WebLogic server. So then after you deploy the applications into the WebLogic server, so what are the statuses actually? Application statuses. Very, very important interview question. So what are the application states? There are following application states which are available: new, activate, prepared, admin, and failed. So what is the new generally? You just installed or deployed applications into the WebLogic server. Whatever the target you selected, those targets are not running. That is called new status. Activate means so all the classes and methods which are going to be loaded into the WebLogic server memory successfully, and end user can access the application only when it is in the active state. And prepared state means generally which are going to be controlling the application accesses by from the user or client. And admin means so partially you are going to be completing the deployment. In other words, partial failure of the deployment. And what we have to do, you can check about the deployment, whether the deployment was successful or not. You can able to see that part. Then after that failed means in this state the deployment was complete failure and the end user cannot access that application. Even though the application state coming to the admin state, still you can able to access the admin console. So these are all the application statuses. So let's we see what are the types of applications which are available. We are moving into the advanced deployment now. So what are the types of deployments which are available in the WebLogic server? There are three types of deployments: two-phase deployment, side-by-side deployment, and deploying using the plan. Let's we see what is the two-phase deployment generally. See, whenever you are deploying applications into the WebLogic server by setting the cluster target, that is called two-phase deployment only. The applications are deploying using the two-phase deployment, and those applications are going to be copied to the cluster and activated into the two phases. In phase one, distributing the application and components and modules to the target server of target servers of each staging directory. Then in the second phase, generally what it will do, it has going to do the deployments. Actually, actual deployment, it has going to be, will start in the phase 2. When it starts actually, whenever the phase 1 is successfully complete. If phase 1 and phase 2 which completes successfully, application is loaded, all the classes and methods successfully and which is available and active on each node, then client can able to access that application. This process we can call it as two-phase deployment mode. In the sense, in phase 1 it is going to be copying all the applications into the staging directory of targeted server. In phase 2 it is going to start the deployment whenever the phase 1 was successful. And phase 1, phase 2 successfully completed, then only application state come into the active state and end user can able to access that application. That mechanism we can call it as two-phase deployment. And next we'll move to other important, very important one. So what is the side-by-side deployment or production redeployment? So side-by-side deployments means generally a revised version of the production application. In the sense, each application may have the more than one version, right? So generally each revised version of the production application can be redeployed alongside the older version. So generally both old and as well as the new applications which are going to be deployed without affecting the existing clients to the applications, right? Without interrupting the availability of the old version or old application. So you can deploy the new application. Old application clients can access the old application. New application clients can access the a new application by specifying the version. Weblogic server automatically which manages the client connections. So existing clients means it is going to be redirecting to the old application. New clients means which are redirected to the a newer application. That is called side by side redeployment or production redeployment. Very important interview question this is. Let's we see diagrammatically what how we can able to see. This is what application 1, version 1 and version 2. See, both versions are active at the same time. Old application clients can access old application. New clients can access the new application. Once the old clients can complete the accessing the application, then that is going to be moving into that all the requests which are going to be redirecting to the you know a new application only. In the sense, all applications which are going to be all client connections which are going to be redirecting to the active or new client connections only. This is called production redeployment or side-by-side deployment. To activate two versions or more than version at same time, so we will use the production redeployment. This feature was introduced after 9.x onwards. So earlier we don't have this feature. Let's we see next the third method of deploying. So what is the deployment plan actually? How you are going to be deploying the applications using the plan. So deployment plan is nothing but it is an XML document. So what it is an XML document. So which is used to define applications configuration specific to the environment, specific to the WebLogic server environment. Example, test, staging, and production. So generally in the web environment, whenever they design and develop, then after they are going to be testing that application with the all the application details. Once it is get success, what will happen? That application configuration they are going to be preparing into the config.xml, sorry, deployment plan. And while we're moving that application into the test environment, they are going to be attaching that deployment plan also, which contains all the deployment configuration. So if you will get generally any problem, naming conventions or otherwise any configuration issues, you just refer the deployment plan. You can fix those issues or those problems without modifying the deployment descriptor or without contacting the Java administrator, sorry, Java developer. So for that reason, we are going to be configuring the deployment plan. So generally, deployment plan to easily change an application's WebLogic server configuration for a specific environment without modifying the existing deployment descriptor. Then how, see example, let's we see, this is what development, in we don't have any deployment plan in the development, testing and staging. All these are, you have the plan.xml QA and as well as, production.xml here. All those. Let's we see how we can able to prepare the, deployment plan actually. we can able to prepare the deployment plan by using the weblogic.plan generator. It is a Java tool, so which we can able to create or configure the deployment plan. Let's we see how you can able to create. First, you can able to create the work directory. Under that, you can create the two directories called app and plan. Under the app directory, you can copy the application in which for which application you want to configure the deployment plan. Let's we see that part. Then after that, you have to be issue the following command. Just go to over there. So mkdir, I'm creating the one directory called work. Go to the work directory, mkdir app and plan. All these are the empty directories. Next, what I need to do, which application you want to, so cp space shopping cart. For this application, I need to be copy the create the deployment plan. I need to be copy under the app directory. I just copy it. Just go to check it whether it is copied or not. This application just copy it. So next, what I need to do, issue the following command: Java space weblogic.plan generator and home Linux Oracle. So from which path the application is coming? HCL home and work app shopping cart.web home Linux Oracle, where I need to be generate the plan.xml. So under this path, so I'm just entering. Automatically it is going to be exporting and creating the plan.xml file. See here, saving plan.xml file to this path. So go to that path. Go to the plan. See, so earlier it is an empty directory. We place plan.xml file. So entire configuration about that application, which is going to be recorded into the this plan.xml, which contains every information about that configuration file. Next, go to the web.inf. Under this, you may have that weblogic.xml also. So what I need to do while I'm deploying, I'm attaching this plan.xml. How you are going to be deploying by using the plan.xml file? Using the automation tool, you just specify -plan and you just specify the path up to the plan.xml file. So whenever you are deploying using that admin console, what I need to do, go to the deployments, install, upload your files, browse. I'm going to that desktop, D files, shopping cart, click on open. See down only deployment plan archive. Go to here where I need to go Linux, Oracle, HCL home, work. So go to the plan and plan.xml file. You can select that one. Click on next. Click on next and click on next. Select the target and click on next. Copy this application onto every target for me and click on finish button. So which are going to be deployed successfully with the deployment plan. So then after that you can click on here and see this is what application name, and you can click on testing. You can test that application. See, in this way you can able to deploy the applications using the plan. This is very important interview question. What is the deployment plan? So then after that, let's we see what is the other one called. So what are the startup? What is the startup and as well as shutdown classes? Startup classes, these are the classes generally that are loaded whenever the WebLogic server starts up or boots. So while it has going to be executing those classes. What it is going to be doing, initializing the objects in the memory and reconstructing the JNDA tree loading critical values from the database and recover from the system state, fail to shut down to and running state. All these, services which are going to be initialized by using the startup class. Next, what is a shutdown class generally? Shutdown class are the classes which are going to be gets executed while the WebLogic server instance is going to be shutting down. So whatever the classes which are going to be, initialized or, started by using the startup class, those services which are going to be free by the shutdown classes. This is about startup and shutdown classes. What is a startup class execution process actually? Startup class execution. Whenever you issue the command start weblogic.sh, initially it is going to initialize the JDBC in the sense, starting the JDBC services and JMS. Then after that, deploying the applications into the WebLogic server. Then after that, it is going to be starting the startup classes. This is what default behavior and the default startup classes execution process. Let's we see how you can able to configure that startup classes. Go to the admin console and expand the environment node. Click on the startup and shutdown classes. Click on new. Select class type and click on next. You have to be provide the name and as well as the class name and click on next. So when it is going to be executed for which server it is going to start, so you can select the target and click on finish button. Similarly, you can configure the shutdown classes. Click on next, copy that shutdown classes and as well as click on next, select the target and click on finish button. In this way you can able to configure the startup and shutdown classes. So let's we see what is the real-time deployment process. So before we are moving into that, let's we discuss what is hot deployment and what is cold deployment. So generally hot deployments, deploying applications without server downtime. In the sense, while running the server only, we are going to be deploying the applications. So deploying the applications without server downtime, which we can call it as, hot deployment. In the sense, while running the application, which we can able to deploy. So most of the cases which we cannot able to prefer hot deployment because, if the deployment was not success, what will happen? Even existing clients cannot able to access the application. Even new clients also cannot able to access the application, and there is a chance of losing the application's data also. That is the reason whenever it required, that time only we will go with the hard deployment, and rest of the method, rest of the cases which is not preferred actually. From the WebLogic server 9.6 onwards, which is not recommended hot deployment. So come to here, what is a cold deployment generally? So cold deployment is nothing but what So deploying the applications with minimum server downtime. Okay, with minimum server downtime, which means which need to be scheduled the server downtime and stop all the servers. Let's we see that part. With minimum server downtime, we can call it as we can call it as or we can call it as cold deployment. In the sense, we need to be stop the servers and we need to be take that all that process we'll be able to see. First, you can understand what is a hot and what is a cold deployment. Let's we see the real-time deployment process. So in production, we always go with the cold deployment only. There is a process actually, real-time deployment process. Stop the applications and stop the servers and take the backup of applications and next and go to the following path: domain home /server name and copy the cache temp stage, because all the applications runtime information which is available under those directories only. Take the backup and remove those directories. And this process you have to be do for all server instances. How many servers you targeted? This process you have to be do for all targeted servers. And then after that, what I need to do, fourth step, start the servers and deploy the applications. Using any one of the method. Which discuss, right? Using any one of the method. Then after that, start the applications, and test the applications. So in this way, we can able to deploy the real-time process. Clear, right? So then after that, generally where or ER file, how you can able to get in the real time generally. See, directly you cannot able to get. There are the following tools actually. What are the actually? SVN and CVS. These are all the version controls tools which is configured by the build release engineers. So what they will do actually, whenever the development was completed actually, they are going to be planning the releases about the applications. And all the where or ER file, whatever they are going to be ready for deploying, those applications they can they can keep under the some central repository. They are going to be keeping some central repository. All the applications they are going to be keep under the central repository, and you can check in, and by using the username and password they are going to be provided, and you can deploy from that path. Then after that, check out, and you can able to see in the you can able to see the deployment process in the your administration console. Real time in this way you can able to get the where or ER files. Not every organization and most of the organizations. So this completely completes about the deployment. Understood? Hello? Right. So regarding the scripts, whatever I prepared, and regarding the Maven tool also, how you are going to be installing everything, I will attach. I will upload all the details to you people regarding the deployment. Okay. All right. Including the sample applications also. Whatever I have, used for testing purpose, those sample applications also I can able to attach. I can able to upload to you, and you can able to test in your environment. Understood? Right. So see, application was deployed successfully in the sense, you just go to over there. So www dot so www.icici.com or sbi.com. So generally what will happen, application was deployed successfully, you are able to accessing this application. Next, what I need to do, you want to log into this application in the sense where it has going to be stores all the credentials, or whenever you want to transfer the amount, where it has going to be source this application related information under the database, right? See, which we can able to retrieve the information from the database, otherwise which we can able to copy that application's data at runtime into the database. For that, which requires the database connections in the sense, JDBC, JDBC connectivity, JDBC connectivity, in the sense how you are going to be configuring the database connections with WebLogic server. So that part we'll able to see JDBC and the JMS, Java Messaging Service. All right, clear, right? Today's class. So I will upload all the things. Okay. Yesterday I had some work actually. That is the reason I didn't upload. Today I will upload. So whatever the classes, the 14 class, right, you got, and remaining classes you can able to get. Okay. Alright, so we will meet tomorrow at same time, and we will continue with the database connections and as well as the GNS. Okay, then after that we'll move into the security. And regarding the resumes, I will able to give you. So because I need to be complete. So this is what one of my student actually, this resume. I will forward this template to you people. You can keep your own clients. Okay, I will give you all the responsibilities. You can keep your own clients. Understood? And how much experience you want to keep, you can keep. This resume, it is about the 8+ years. Okay, right? So I will forward this resume also template, and you can prepare according to the requirement. At the end of the class or end of this course, generally I can able to see again whether you are prepared properly or not. If there are any changes required, I will suggest you can make it those changes. Okay, right? So that part we'll able to see one by one. So maybe the end of this weekend and next weekend probably we are going to be completing the WebLogic server administration. Okay, we are now completed half of the WebLogic server actually. So one by one we'll able to see. Right, tomorrow we'll see, then after that security part, which we have more than 50% now. Okay, all right. So we'll see tomorrow at same time. Thank you. Bye.